For Manila, the in 26 days, I would have to pay 858 more to a salaried employee, or for the Visayas, it would be 1,430 pesos more per month per employee. Now, can the can the sector handle that if there is no exemption given, and what will be the outcome?
Well, of course, uh, many of those who have restructured their loans, and many have done that because of the pandemic, no? I mean, are going to face a more challenging situation. No? So
Mhm.
I think the objective really here is job generation. And well, it is also important that wages may have to be adjusted because of the very high inflation caused by the Ukraine-Russian crisis. I mean, if this crisis is all over, that those commodity prices are going to crash. But unfortunately, the war is still ongoing. And if this becomes a protracted war, then the risk towards stagflation increases. No? So my point really here, Sito, is what is the priority? Job generation, because many people still have no jobs out there.
Mhm.
Businesses are coming back. Hiring is ongoing. In fact, at our level, large corporations, there's a lot of piracy going on. People are, hiring, paying higher wages. But as you go down that line where the unskilled is, then of course there are more people that can law of supply and demand. There's more supply than demand. So
Mhm.
what I'm trying to say is economic activity, which is starting to happen, and we can see that from the Philippine growth. No?
Yeah.
The growth of the Philippines in the last quarter was about 8%,
Yeah,
8 point
8.1.
something, no, 8.1, which is excellent, no. But who is the one pushing that growth? It is the negociantes and of course the labor force, because we are the ones who pay the government the taxes and whatever is our obligation, and that generates revenue for the Philippine government. And that's why you see the growth of the entire country moving up, which is a good sign. In other words, business is back, people are hiring again. Now, if we there is no doubt that wages have to be increased, but to those who can afford to increase it. So we have collective bargaining agreements. Of course, there will be wage distortions that will have to be adjusted because as they mandate the wage increases, we're prepared for that. But then again, we're also facing huge commodity price increases now, which we can not pass fully because the consumers cannot afford, and we're scared of a collapse in demand. Once the people start to hold back spending, then that's when stagflation happens. No?
What solutions do you have, or does the sector have, to address this problem? Because on one hand, you have employees whose salaries can no longer meet the push of inflation, and then you have businesses who want to you want business, of course, to carry on, and people have said in the commentaries that business will have to simply share what profits there. Has it really been that profitable for micro entrepreneurs, or are they just, hand to mouth surviving day to day?
Our micro entrepreneurs are basically what I define as survival entrepreneurs. No? Many of them, I mean, don't finish school. Some of them, it's only now that we are bringing a lot of mentors to help mentor them with our partners in DTI and Department of Agriculture. So they are what I call, survival entrepreneurs. They are forced into a negotiation because some of them can't get employed. No? So
Mm.
that's how it is. And that's a bulk, that's about 90+% of the whole business community if you were to include micro and small. No? So I think what's important is to keep these people afloat. And yes, I believe that wages will have to be increased. They are also being increased with those companies who have collective bargaining agreements. And although, of course, between laborers and employee, I mean, us hiring people, and of course, the employers and the employees, there is always that negotiation of what is the right wage. No?
Mm.
And it's very difficult for me to answer that because it depends on the area, depends on the type of business that the person is. So and that's why we have these negotiations, no, between our employees.
Now, what about negotiated value? Meaning, if the regional tripartite wage boards have said 33, would your group or ECOP and industries settle for maybe 15 peso or 20 peso? Although I know the labor unions are crying bloody murder.
Well, maybe I leave that up to ECOP and June Lewis. He has a lot more experience in that area. My own views is just let us for now exempt the micro entrepreneurs, and let's get them registered. So let's try to reach them maybe through the barangay captains, and LGU people can help in encouraging the sari stores and all other vendors and retail to really make themselves known. No? But and hopefully that will become successful. But all of these things take time. So the problem is really now. So are they going to be penalized if they are not able to increase the wages? But quite frankly, I don't think they can police all of these millions of micro entrepreneurs. Many of them, some of them don't even last more than 6 months, no? And then they sprout again. So this is how fragile this sector is, no? Our micro entrepreneurs.